Semi-final number 2, only one will advance. Is it going to be Kazakhstan guys with a few Russian influences there, with Doja as well as ceased? Or will it be the 4-man Brazilian, 1-man American lineup getting out of this semi-final number 2 successful? Gambit starts off with winning the knife round on the opponent's map pick. Let's see how it will go. And as we're just waiting it for it to start, there we go. CT site. That is going to be starting Gambit. And just to give you a little bit of a kind of statistical input. Funny part is, about this map, Cash, both teams are quite okay at it. Not too great. Statistically speaking, SK's better. And if it will turn out like that, figure it out. First of all, your approach towards the A side, the players making the move to smoke, working out perfectly. Gambit is more interested in the retake here, but they don't have a kit. No one aggressively on the A side to hold up the players. That bomb will go down. Fur with only 3 HP. Still able to get that thing down. And so there's still a double flashbang onto Fallen. The frags are not falling though for Gambit, which makes it all just hard. The players went in from main. Adren tries to hit his shots, gets Dink down to 2 HP. Bolts tries his best, but all the players close range. And it's Mo as well as Ceased finding themselves what they're looking for. No kit though. And Fallen can do a thing. Fur's on his own. Oh, and he needs to be patient about this, but the 10-second defuse, how advanced is it? It's over. Hobbit finds Fur. Gambit secure the first with only a Doja dying. Who's, by the way, the newest IGL. If you didn't know, if you didn't pay attention on HL TV, this is our man. This is our caller for Gambit Gaming. And as it goes, M4 twice there on the side of Gambit. They're not playing around. They're not fooling with those submachine guns. And like we had with Virtus Pro, who are already out of this tournament, this would be a good opportunity to prove the world that you're still here, active. Not just any top 10 team. You're the team. It's the kind of thing you want to show us here. SK is waiting in the big cluster in front of the B site. No one of Gambit is even daring to move through Squeaky, move through main, move through mid to gain a bit of information. And without that information gained, they stick to their setup and not reinforce the B or A side. Vigil in middle, for example. That stab should have been heard. No rotation still made by Gambit. Everyone was on the B side initially, stays there. Hobbit finds himself further. With Hobbit finding a second, there's one more to the left to come. Stewie is reacting right, but Doja is there to find, and that means Cold Zero on his own. And Adren takes him there out with the MP9 in a fairly mid-range duel. 2-0 it is, and Gambit Gaming, not too many casualties at least. So far, so good. SK Gaming pick right now. Gambit got the control, but we know the usual 3 rounds in the beginning you're getting. From then on, we're seeing how it will go. So he's hiding himself here in main. Find that smoke, hoping to any aggressor coming nearby. And I'm honestly confused about the profile picture of Stewie. I don't know what that is supposed to mean. It looks like some kind of picture from the Bible or something. Whilst we have pictures from the Bible, it seems like some kind of hero play coming in from Ceased. Well done as he finds himself first, as well as Fallen. Typical. I think that's the word. Not quite sure. He's done his job well. The nade goes deep into Coldzera, puts him down to 72, finds Dejin onto C, still can't pick up that bomb again. The flashbang does its job with the MP9, he finds two. $1,200 secured, plus 2 frags. Gambit Gaming. Oh, Stewie, tapping one away. Down to 2 HP. Gotta keep the patience up, but Adren finds him in the end. And that buy, due to the first round plant, is not being rewarded in any kind of fashion. SK, back to the pistols. And with that being said, let's see how Fallen and Co. might just use the momentum and the speed to shut down the 2 defenders. That's how to be. Flashbang comes in. Hobbit doesn't see a thing. Eats up a few bullets, but Doja with one. Doja not with a second. Hobbit has to clean it up. Their smell is somehow being successful once more with just that MP9. I personally call it the minigun. It's very compact and shoots as fast as a minigun. The RPM on this thing is just insane. But Fur, with just those 24 HP and no bomb at hand, plays around CT, hopes to hit a player off guard. Technically speaking, he has the opportunity, but sometime Gambit should realize there could be someone coming in from behind. It's fairly possible. But neither of them are actively looking at the position. I don't know, Cisa spotted him. Down to 2 HP he is able to survive as the Dink is not taking him out. SK back to the buy, the AKs are on the board. Let's not hope this is one of those portentous kind of buys and the portentous kind of situations where Gambit Gaming might run away with it fairly easy and fairly fast, like we had during our first best of 3. If you just freshly joined us, it was 16-3 on the first map for Avantgarde, it was 16-3 on the second map for Virtus Pro, and then it was a 16-13 on the final map. So, basically, from extremely easy to extremely hard. Either way, Seized. Staying there. Together with his teammate Dren on the site. Trying to take a little bit of a height advantage, an overlooked position where he probably is not 100% expected yet. No one is being held off yet. Adren has to go back behind Forklift where Coldzera takes him down. The same goes for Zeist. The shots towards the truck. He has the kind of understanding. He definitely heard the scoping there. Samo has to think twice how he's doing it. And now Doja coming in from behind. He's probably expected at least by bolts. It seems like he has a kind of idea for it. Coldzera might just be boosted up, but there is the crucial player off the Brazilian side, just falling a little bit early on. A single kit we're having, that is Mao. There comes one, Stewie. It's being burned away there, but in the end, bolts with the nade, falling with the shots. First one there for SK Gaming. And actually, if I remember the story correctly, it was Moo? That is the thing, because Moo used to call himself Mouse, but back when he was like 14 or 15, they changed the nickname so only the first 3 letters. And Mouse is like Mao. I'm probably just mixing up my entire brain and could just say Mao the entire time. But 4-1. SK Gaming on the rifles again, by the minimum, economically speaking. As we see, yeah, 1,350 is the maximum. And that is on to Stewie. Whilst Gambit's probably aware of the weak economy of the opponent, they themselves have to put 2 players down on the pistol. It's got to be Hobbit as well as Doja. The IGL together with the ex-IGL. At that point in time, seeing the mid control, mainly taken here by Hobbit. Extremely crucial also for the information towards A main. The funny part is, though, that they're majorly leaning towards the A site, with Doja rotating away. Surely they could all sneak around main. That's gonna get very uncomfortably hot for Hobbit in case that Molotov is going to be thrown. Not to be the case, though. There it comes. You don't like to see that, but he can run away. Sees two players. Hobbit with only 6 more bullets in that mag is not in the most comfortable situation because there the nade drops. Still, has to just deal with 6 more bullets. If he initiates that reload, he can't just quick switch because then the problem is it will take an eternity again, but he's able to reload that one. 30 more seconds. Mouse getting the one onto Cold Zero, and that Brazilian falling for having an idea though. Hobbit taken out, same goes for Bolts. That means Adren might do together with Ceased, because no one has checked Shroud yet. And Fallen, not to be taken out through the wall. 8 more seconds, and now you need to do it. Adren, you need to take down Fallen. He has no more time left, or does he? No chance. Execute it. With 5.56 to the brain, Fallen falls. The 5-1 is secured for Gambit, and Bolts is not even allowed to take any additional dollars out of the round. We have another pause coming in. As we're having it at 5-1 for Gambit, not 100% expected, to be very fair. Once more, this is the SK Gaming pick, and SK, technically speaking, are less than 2 percentage points better on the T site. I know it's not a big number, it's not a big difference, you could say, but still, a little bit, just a tiny bit, which tells us how to lean, or what kind of direction this team is leaning in. Vaughn tries to find himself a perfect wallbang spot, clip it right now, upload it to Reddit. Now you know where to aim to. More likely where to aim at, either way. (5-1) SK Gaming with a fairly mixed buy and down to the minimum economically. Gambit Esports, on the other hand, also there with 2 UMPs, as they couldn't afford more, and a single scout him out. Fallen jumping down, and so he tries to burst aggressor, and the entry player with that op. The close range gun, you can't really call it like that. Ceased finding him, and that's the $4,750 rifle being given away. No one from SK Gaming is right now able to retrieve that gun, so it's down to only ZZs and Deagles. Get back that control. That AWP might be picked up. Stewie finds himself Ceased. As he finds himself not only Ceased, he finds himself that AWP, and so it's time for the American to shine. The A site fairly open, only a Doja left. The last second plays. A more and more occurring theme on the side of SK Gaming. Cold Zero's getting close. Doja doesn't seem to be 100% aware of it. There's one coming. There's a second one to find. And Doja can't connect onto Cold Zero, though, but that was very crucial. Cold on his own finds the headshot onto Adren. But that bomb needs to be taken down in 8 seconds. And that seemed to be like a not really intended switch to the guns. 6-1 in SK Gaming. Once more brought down to a minimum economically. Maybe Cold can buy himself a pistol. But I can hardly imagine Fur and Cole will consider to invest. There it goes. Ceased to find the first of the bolts, the second as well. Stewie taken out. MP9 action doesn't stop. 4 kills, Fur in middle though. Was able to at least get found on in the end. But from middle, Hobbit comes. 7-1. Gambit Esports is not to be stopped at that point in time. And SK Gaming back on the buy. As we have that 7-1. We might just see Gambit Esports in just a round taking the half already. Just to remind you, if you just joined us in, this is the map pick of the Brazilians. Hobbit moves towards the vent room. A bit of an idea to it. Shots are starting to come at him, and Coldzera peeks at the right time. The Molotov from the teammate barely inflicts any damage. It's once more a Doja on his own. Back on the B site, defending it on his own. Stewie just survives with 2 HP, but is able to take down the final defender. Coldzera getting a Dren as well. Now as well ceased. The only 2 individuals to make a change right now for Gambit. But as we see, the economic situation is not the best for the CIS team, which probably puts them in a situation to keep the guns back to themselves, not lose anything unnecessarily, and as we're talking about it, exactly what they're doing. SK can't afford to hunt, as Cold as well as Stu are on low HP. You don't want to lose the guns, and you don't want to lose the players. All still coming in from behind, taking his time there with that spray, but C's taken out anyway, only now alive. There it is, the second one. It took a while for Gambit. Excuse me, it took a while for SK Gaming. That's the right way to put it. 4 in a row consecutively. Gambit has won, then 3 in a row, and another timeout. The first one for Gambit Esports, as they don't want to give SK Gaming that kind of momentum and the opportunity to now run away with it. We're in round number 10. Gambit is 3 rounds away from obtaining double digits, and 1 round away from gaining the security of having the first round. Gambit so far showed us what they're made of, showed us how good they can actually defend against such strong individually and also tactical SK Gaming. The issue that right now occurs though, in case of SK winning this round, and this was probably the reason why Gambit did the break, they'll be economically shattered, so there's no real space right now for SK to give. Because you logically don't want to lose this round, you logically don't want to be ecoed. And reset. Aggressive from Cease. It gets problematic. Mo hitting only 1, giving Bolts now the opportunity to make the move towards the A site. Not going to be the case for the moment. Adren, he's staying. He's patient. He's waiting. From the dead teammates first, picking up a little bit more of utility. Can make use of that in just that A-take scenario. Hobbit behind Forklift. That's a little bit problematic. He hides himself away. Third goes for aggression. Hobbit denies Hobbit with the double. And so it's only Cold alive. They peek together and take down Coldzera. There's the 8-2-2. And there's the scoreline going in favor of Gambit Esports, as the first half is already in the pocket. Take a look at that economy from SK. There's another timeout coming in. Adrenaline timeout league. That's kind of working for it. Either way, when we take a look at the scoreboard real quick. Falling down on the scoreboard. Basically. One to 8. It is right now. Also see Cease doing a quite good job. No one extremely outstanding, you have to say, but still. Gambit as a unit doing it all right. And there we see the classic pattern, IGL on the bottom of the scoreboard. That call seems to be not really hard to read. Go onto the B site, play it on contact. The way we know it, the nade doesn't do its job right. The players are coming down. At least partially. Fur. We gotta wish Stewie. Trying to obtain a little bit of control with the utility. Doja does it right. Smokes one off, but seems like they're selling it. You see Mel rotating over, but they're waiting. They're a little bit hesitant. As you see, for a moment they were directly rushing onto the B site. Then probably one of them called, there's no one here. There's no one here. Now they've seen a few. Not quite sure if they saw follow with the bomb. Now definitely. Hobbit realized that the C4 is leaning towards the B site. Assistants are falling in this situation. It's called Dura. Now they're going also over vents. Stewie's just waiting for the right timing to come out. Hobbit doesn't connect his shots, and that's making it uncomfortable right now for the Kazakhstan player. As Mo needs to hit his shots, does do it on one. Hobbit taken out. Mo, that's the same kind of problem with him. Low HP fallen, found. Doja back on the site in a tricky situation. Stewie only on 4 HP, but Ceased and Adren will have a hard time retaking this site. Ceased is coming over the vents. Possibly not so expected at that point. That nade goes deep. Puts Bolts down to 15. Ceased waits. The right timing has to be hit. Because otherwise, you'll just fall unnecessarily. Finds himself Stewie. Bolt's taken out as well. Fur to be the last one on the site, and Fur taken out. Gambit is not having a hard time right now. They're dominant, and they're giving us the 9-2 scoreline, whilst SK is continuously over and over and over falling short. The initial situation looked decent. They had the man advantage. They had the control over the site. But low HP and discipline in retaking. That is what giving Gambit kind of notch, that kind of bit that makes it better. (9-2). Gambit a single round away from securing double digits on the opponent's map pick cash. The decision to play this map was actually by SK Gaming, and statistically, they're doing quite alright here. It's not too crazy, but on the other hand, times they have played cash in the last 3 months, 10 times. They won 7 out of 10 times this map, so technically speaking, you could think that it could be quite easy. As we're talking about it, those Deagles are doing a quite easy job. Doja has to refrag his teammate who just runs into the 50 caliber shots. Problem comes in for Hobbits. Oh no, Bolts. He's hitting those. Finally, and thankfully, now only the IGL can clear this out. Fallen, taken out, one more towards 4-click. He could have seen the shoulder, first season beforehand. And that was only a Deagle buy. It brings SK kind of back in the game. They're still able to deny the double digits, and when we take a look at the Gambit esports economy, it's far away from brilliant. They have to eco that one. As right now, those pistols are back onto Gambit Esports. SK Gaming should be able to prevail at that point in time. As Kultura finds the first. That isn't too hard anymore. Doge as well as Adren. At least one nice deal shot coming in, but hard to imagine any much more to be delivered by Gambit Esports with just those 2 Deagles, no armor, no utility, no kit. Adren is still interested, and there the stab has been hurt. So the X-God himself. Gotta clean it up. Find himself at least a few more here and there. There's a silence around the map. It's probably making Doja not feel too comfortable. No bomb has been planted, no kind of indicator where the opponents are. And that is not the most clean Deagle aim you could imagine. Doja falling short here in the end. Maybe gets one from behind. No chance against Bolts. 9-4 is there. There's the buy again from the CTs. Howard and Ceased are not looking that good. rather going for the eco again. Interestingly enough, they really want to go for a really decent buy. Hobbit somehow bought so weirdly that he's down to just that 1,500. The losing bonus is not the biggest, so it's far away from advantageous. Ceased ZZ not successful enough, and that's kind of weird. You see that right now when you take a look at scoreboard, the money... Yeah, Ceased is down to 2k, that's okay, but Hobbit to 1.5? Well, they all decided to save, and Hobbit was surely not the one... was the one with the least money on the board. Weird, is what I call it, but either way, round number 14. Was trying to find himself that shot on Coldzera. The USPS is not the strongest gun against armored opponents. So Hobbit needs to show us that the money he's invested was well invested. He does so with the first, but there, not much more to go. Fallen takes him out. Round number 15, where Gambit has technically the opportunity to pick up the number 10, the double digits. So play by the book, that would do it. No crazy stuff. No weird stuff. Just full focus. And as it goes, very interesting positioning. Hobbit has claimed for himself. As the smoke fades, it gets a little more dangerous. Does the Molotov inflict damage? No, it doesn't. Does that Molotov inflict damage? No, it doesn't. Nothing elevating, thankfully for him. But that sound could have been heard. I'm not quite sure about it. Hobbit stays back at his aggressive angle. It's crucial information as he hears the steps. One player rotating away. Dren definitely knows that there's one towered squeaky. That has also been heard by Mo for sure. 60 more seconds for SK Gaming, and they're leaning already towards the A site. Now the preparation needs to be set. 100% on point to deny those double digits, to only have 3 instead of a 5-round difference between the teams. As it goes, Snake goes deep for... No major damage dealt to him, only 3 HP, but they're taking their time. SK Gaming for extremely delayed place. But as it goes, Fur takes a lot of damage, finds himself a frag onto C still, and Mo can't connect to it. Adren with a good positioning. The surprise moment wasn't on his side though. Means Doja thinks bolts down, can't connect to it. Coldzera to be taken out. Bolts on 16, Stewie on 85, and Fallen onto 97. That should be not retrieved by Hobbit at all, as no kid is onto him as well. No smoke, no flash, no utility to use. And as it is the case, Yacht doesn't hit a shot. Stewie's to be taken out, but Bolts reacts in time. 9-6 it is. SK Gaming can at least deny a very crucial step round-wise. Bring themselves in the right direction. As they're switching over, it's getting interesting. It's getting now extremely interesting. Because SK Gaming, that's the thing, are a tiny bit, just a tiny bit better on the terrorist sites. Not too much. But if they can now prevail and become successful, right here, not so sure about it. Fur, realize that there's a bit of movement towards main. 3 players of SK Gaming staying on the A site. So the focus shifts. The entire movement seems to rotate around towards the middle, where Fallen could just one tap away Hobbit or the other mid players. Tries his luck onto Hobbit, can't only connect onto the body, puts him down to 87, so no major damage being dealt. Now it's time to take down the guy who becomes bad suddenly when he wears glasses. Vent room is fairly clear. Coldzera is staying there alone on the B sites, and no one is coming in from the top. Coldzera could just clean this out. Finds himself one, not much more to go. Seized. Has to be the victim in that situation, but Stewie comes through, and Stewie on the double, whilst Doja finds Fallen as well. That bomb goes down. Finally. Took way too long, but in the end, Trying to fake it through. I'm not quite sure if that's the most convincing idea. A very interesting position Fur has chosen. Doja should now be aware. Waits for his teammate. Doesn't do so. Taking that back. Hobbit on his own. Has to fight against two. That defuse is initiated. That only takes 2 seconds. That is over. It's going to be round number 7 for SK Gaming. And even a Hobbit's being taken out past the defuse time. And that is the perfect time for SK Gaming to get back into this. As Gambit, when we take a look at it real quick, was up 9-2, if my quick maths are working correctly. From the 9-2, SK Gaming recovered fairly well, and are bringing us right now to 9-7 with the economic advantage due to the 1 round. It's not too much of a problem, but on the other hand, bomb planted on the B side, the previous one, means that follow-up round to this one will deliver us a buy. Gambit. Then the A case might become successful tools. Coldzera is hesitating. Coldzera is doing it in the end. And there the MP9 does its job right, sees, reacts in time, and is able to at least secure himself that tiny sub-machine gun. Additional logically to the Molotov he just picked up. That is though doing any kind of purpose, that's another question. Finding himself bolts, another frac. And that is logically hurting the CT economy quite good. Suddenly, there's a Ferg coming directly towards him. Would have been a bit of a surprise if Seized finds that frac as well. But the 9-8 is there. And at 9-8... it's gonna be followed up by the buy of Gambit. The AK is coming in. Also, a bit of submachine gun action is still onto Fur as well as onto Stewie. Shots nearly whiffing onto the body of Fur. Still unlucky enough. He has the right kind of positioning here. But as that is the case, they're taking their time. Coldzera as well as Stewie, both focused onto the vent room. As the smoke is still in front of the B site, Gambit isn't anymore. Focus shifted over towards A, and with that frag now found onto Fur, who wanted to gain a little bit of information and act like a spy here. It's the A site fairly open. One smoke in front of the face of Bolts. And the control should be easily taken. There's still a Fallen onto Highway. There, Bolts won't see a thing. Tries to spray through. Can't make any shots count. Ceased. It's the one to plant. Fallen is reacting in time, though, finding Doja. Mo, instead of retreating, tries to go for the repeat. That bomb needs to go down. Ceased finds it. Adren. It's going to be his teammate. And at 4 versus 2, that should go massively in favor of SK Gaming. First one to find. There it goes. Stewie to take out 1 HP that was left there onto C's. 28 back onto Adren, but Fallen finds him in the end. The 9-9 is there. The bomb has been planted. Gambit is economically not looking brilliant at all. They probably are coming up with the armor as well as the pistols. That's pretty much it. As that nade goes down, Ceased, barely taking any from damage. This is the full throttle Gambit train arriving on the B site. Can I have your tickets, please? Coldzera asks, and, well, driving without a ticket is illegal. You'll be prosecuted and taken out. That's what Coldzera as well as Stewie did here. And back in the vent room, they're trying to hide. Can't avoid your tickets being checked. Oh, as well as Hobbit. No chance. So they try to sneak around. Bolts has the kind of idea for it. Bomb still out in the open. Fallen tries to shoulder peek that as much as possible. You need to still retrieve that bomb. There's no way around it. That shot should have been on from Fallen. He didn't make it work. That bomb still not retrieved. No, I'm the wrong kind of idea of it. 10-9. SK first team to be in the double digits. And from then on, have the opportunity to run away with it. And as we see it, the AK's back there for Gambit. The problem that just occurs is, I mean, they have a great losing bonus. That's already nice to work with. But on the other hand, they invested as much as they could in that round. In case SK wins, then it will be 11-9, and Gambit also not having a decent economy up on the board. If your wallets aren't filled, you can't buy the right stuff for the party. So far, the party has been explosive, exciting, fast-paced, all the words trying to look for a classic college party. But the kings of the party are SK right now. 10-9, man advantage. Not too much utility left on the Gambit esports site. Stewie with the right timing. Probably just has seen Cease. Does he win the duel though? Only 9 HP left. Coldzera reacts in time and can't avoid too much damage from the flames. As the flashbang now hits, Doja doesn't see a thing. 40 more seconds. Gambit has to make any move. And one who could just save the team right now, that would be Adren. To the right side. There's Spalls. He's found. Now this makes SK maybe a little bit more paranoid, as from every single side that can come, only one player that could change the outcome right here. But major movements. Interesting smoke here from Doja. He just tries to use it somehow. First taken out, as a Shroud player has no more chance to survive. Doja sees the legs of Fallen, finds him in the end. Coldzera's there to react on one. Does he see the head of Adren though? That is the kind of question. As Stewie as well as Cold somehow need to make it possible. First one to come, Coldzera to find Adren. I've only Mao life. That will be all more problematic. He jumps in and then takes him out. 10-10 with a single individual surviving. Gambit secured themselves to double digits as well. So 10-10 is the case. SK Gaming, we see them economically not being on the top of this. It's Fallen Heights behind the cement backs. The Molotov forces him out. No Brazilian barbecue. He's going to be shut down. There's actually Cease burning him down. But either way, 2 more left on the A site. And those 2 individuals not having a chance. Back at the corner for actually finding that frag, taking it back. But can't connect anymore. 11-10, and there it is. SK Gaming. Now, that's not a great buy to have, to be very fair. They still pull through. MP9, FAMAS, and Fur flying up that AWP for his teammate. In case Gambit is taking control of that round, that would be a tough pill to swallow for SK. The issue that then occurs is the usual economic one. Not able to buy up anymore. We see the losing bonus is not the biggest one onto SK as well. With that being said, comes down just to Gambit to use that, to abuse it in their own favor. The Molotov's raining down onto the B side. 3 players of SK just waiting for their aggression to arrive. So he's gonna be the first one. Fallen is not blind. And that looked like a shot that was 100% on C's, though. That was not the smoke you wanted to throw. 100% sure that was not the intention. And they'll realize, hold on. Heaven is not smoked off. Now there needs to be a move, though. coldzera burning away. As now Stewie might do it, and coldzera just passed the players, but with low HP, you're not in the best situation. Cold taken out, Seized finds Stewie as well. That is the B site now under control of Gambit Esports, and it seems like at that point in time, they'd rather keep the guns in their hands. No reason to initiate that retake. Best idea. That would be the 12-10. SK Gaming seems like they can bring through free guns they have right now into the upcoming round. As Dojo falls, they're going to initiate the hunt. All comes down to the A site. Dren wants to be the first one. Doesn't get fallen. Now they're still trying. But as we see, the economic situation is right now not even the best for Gambit themselves. As Dren definitely needs a drop. Dojo could buy up himself. And as we see, Seized right now, 21-15 on the top of the scoreboard. As Gambit recently, I think the post just came today or yesterday, I'm not 100% sure, announced that Doja is going to be the IGL for Gambit Esports. As they used to switch it through for Seized, Hobbit, Dren, every single one trying that kind of roll out. The Molotov though from Hobbit. The wrong angle he hits. That shouldn't happen, of course. There they come. First aggression, Fur with one. Fur not with a second, though. Assistance from Bolts is non-existent at that point in time as he tries to hit the player, and then even thinks his teammate fallen. What an unfortunate situation here for SK Gaming as the Brazilians take down themselves pretty much. Mao hitting the shot into Bolts. Only two more surviving. coldzera stays in vents. And Stewie probably keeps the gun at the moment. No reason to give those weapons away. And there Gambit goes from the number 13. And Gambit once more shatters, just partially, the economy of SK. As we see, that's one lost, even coldzera. The rest, yeah, probably armor and a P250 coming in at that point. As for could get himself that deagle as well, but there's the break. Probably on the SK side. There we go. 30 more seconds to talk about it. Talk it through. And don't see it as a sinister situation. Because if you start getting a little bit scared in that point in time, it will be Gambit using it. So far, we see the difference in the teams fairly well. As usually we know, SK Gaming have that strong individual with coldzera or with Stewie. Gambit is fairly giving everyone the frags. You know, 21, 18, 16, 14, 13. Quite balanced, you could say. Also on the other side, it's similar, but not 100% similar. Either way, SK Gaming. They're about to see their opponents coming closer and closer to pick up the victory on their own map pick. Smo might just soon find a Stewie in case he overpeaks that. It's a duel to watch. Stewie doesn't make a move. Mao is not interested as well. So silence around the map occurs. No noise, no step, no move. Cash becomes suddenly very peaceful. Well, there he stops, rotates away. Same timing as Stewie. This is like some kind of magic, some kind of connection between both of them. They're both rotating away at the same time, not holding the angle they used to hold. Those are now boosting teammates up. Dren as well as Hobbit trying to take a bit of mid-control for and rotates away from the white box. The B side is 100% open right now. Stewie might just rotate over. Stack from SK could work. As we see, Gambit is shifting and focusing on that A site. The Brazilians' focus is exactly on that spot. Bolts, though. That Molotov doesn't inflict any damage. There comes the smoke. Cease finds one. Cease finds a second. And as he comes and flanks in from behind, coldzera is also not able to do anything about it. Bolts to be the last individual. Flawless it is for Gambit. 14-10. 2 more rounds they need. And that is the buy from SK that needs to make the difference. That is the investion that must bring the Brazilians back on track. And there we see aggression. Fur going close range in mid. So we have one white box and one connector. Triple op setup. We previously had that with Avantgarde, but Avantgarde didn't really do this intentionally. Whilst SK Gaming does. Fallen, coldzera, and Stewie carrying around the $4,750 rifles, and I'm interested what they're trying to do with that. So we want to take a look at it real quick. Regarding the positionings. coldzera back on the B side, Fallen in connector. Stewie holding a tight angle onto A main. If those ops will though make the difference, that's another story. Because if you don't hit your shot, unfortunately Fallen this game didn't hit his shots too well, it will become problematic. Because then your actual purpose is taken away. Fur now taken out by Doja in that process. Fallen not hitting his shot again. He's now known and exposed. Ceased might take that opportunity to find him, but the smoke first of all blocks the vision. Fallen doesn't see a thing, needs to retreat. Whilst Bolts is still in close range, that is going to be the east side aggression. The bomb's still in favor. coldzera with the first, finding Adren. The bomb is down, and now that has to be brought to the site as soon as possible. coldzera with the double, and that is Doja taken out as well. coldzera with the triple. coldzera not with the quad. But Fallen is good enough in the end to then finally find Mo. And that is the defense of coldzera working out. There comes the timeout. Gambit just have a good bunch of those left. This is where you see why coldzera often plays such a relevant role in this lineup. And as that 14-11 might, just might, turn this around. We see real quick, the terrorist economy is doing fairly okay. 4.9 on Hobbit, 4.2 on Demo. Future investions are possible. Once that is the case, see Bolts as well as Fur holding that A side. First one to be taken out is though Fur. He didn't spot the bomb as it's still back towards Hobbit. Logically, the rotation is initiated to coming over highway, and Gambit might use this to directly go in the opposite direction. Still, SK Gaming brought the players back to the actual spots. Stewie, as well as coldzera, rotating back. It's gotta be Bolts and Fallen. That just now means you gotta hit those shots. You don't want Gambit Esports on the number 15. Because otherwise the following round will get very uncomfortable. Cease and Adren finding the frags. 2 more alive, only ops. Fallen with one. Fallen with the no-scope onto Doja. That was crucial, but coldzera, does he do that? All the players of Gambit are fairly low on HP. That means a single op needs to do the job right there. Finds himself a Dren. Now as well as Hobbit. The only two to find. And at that point, Hobbit has the right positioning, and that is the 15-11. With Gambit taking the lead, we see SK on a not so successful buy. At 15-11, it just looks fairly good right here. Highway. No one is awaiting a Dren yet. Close by though. Sells bolts as well as fur. The UMP as well as that CZ. That information should be now favorable for bolts as he finds one. Cold Zero with a double there. As the boost up in vents. Is opening opportunities there. SK Gaming is not to be stopped in round number 27. Fully flawless. That investment they've made, it worked. Turning it around, 15-11, and it looked extremely favorable for Gambit there. Things changed though. When we take a look at it, the accountants of Gambit are not too happy. There's not much left. So you gotta make it work. Fallen, though with a great entry onto Doja, closes the door, case closed, frag found. You're done. See you next round. Is there in main, two players are awaiting it. Fallen is still there to hit those shots. Although it's a duel. Don't want to be in. Both not hitting the shot. For not quite sure if that Molotov was intended that way. Either way, Fur now gains a bit of information. Players are moving out. Cease is going to the first one. Bolts finds Hobbit. And the two-man advantage is logically extremely favorable. Turn it around to a three-man advantage. Cease taking a lot of time with that spray. But fully blind he is. Can't escape the bullets. And Dren, one. Oh, that looked like he nearly got fallen, but doesn't work. Triple coming in. And take a look at that buy from Ceased and Co. There's the pause. Gambit need to talk this through. I mean, during the first half, we've seen SK Gaming making it work with just pistols and an aggression. I'm not quite sure if that's going to be repeated here in the end. That's going to work. Because Gambit doesn't seem to be the ones who are gaining that much momentum. But I think we have to shine a little bit of light here on Cold Zero as well as Zeist. Both of them doing a good job for the team. Fallen also woke up again, thankfully, as he looked extremely shaky during the first half. Now, he's back on track. The last few rounds, his impact was crucial and important. But you need to continue like this. Only the Glocks there. Gambits can go either way, which way they want to. Shouldn't be a problem for SK to now pick him up. Smoke popped. Bomb moving over towards middle. Looked for a moment like they could just aggress the ace at the B site. But they rather waited out. 120 left. SK Gaming not really interested in running at any of those Glocks. Because one Glock is not really a big deal. Many Glocks is a bigger of a deal. I'm talking about it. Towards vent they go. Bolts. Finds himself a triple with a spray down. Perfectly done. And the quad is there. Those were eco frags, but the spray here from Bolts, that was just beautiful to watch. 15-14. Will this be the first overtime of the tournament? Will Gambit close it out? 16-14. Double AWP. Fallen and Zero. Let's see how they'll make it work. First of all, Gambit not interested in taking any ground too early. Now, waits in front of main instead of going into it. He avoided that HE, which is probably the right move in that situation. In round number 30, Patient Gambit, who actually on the T side has done a nice bunch of fakes. Molotov going deep, no one towards 7. Fallen is not daring to peek towards boost though. So as the time ticks away, the rotation goes over to the B sites. SK is also not really interested going aggressive towards any direction to find any information. As we see, B site might be the right approach. There's only one man alive back on the site. That is called Zero. Rotation not coming in by Fallen. As he's now taken out, there might be a rotation coming in. Adren finding himself a double, but the B side is a little bit of a problematic position right here. Getting it back though. The problematic situation turned around. Stewie with one. Stewie not onto the double. That would have been crucial. Only Bolt's alive, and he has to find himself 4 frags, including a defuse. Molotov goes deep. That's alright. Dren coming in from behind. Bolt with one. Bolt's not with the second. 16-14. Gambit pick up cash, and that's not even their pick.